Could you discuss the evolution of the power play? I think you're number 5th in the league right now this morning. From where you were, where it's going, and just everything about it.
Well, after last year, let's go back 2 years. We played ping pong. We were one of the top power plays in the league from about November on a couple of years ago, and things were going our way. Pucks were going in the net. Last year we struggled. We lost some confidence. We tried to change some things. We've really gone back to basics and tried to keep a unit together for a long, extended period. There's a lot of experts out there that don't like 5 left-handed shots. A lot of experts don't like Clef. They'd rather have Bouchard on the back end. There's just a lot of experts, and we're not letting the experts get in the way. We're trying to do what we think is best for the team. And, so far that Group A has done a good job. It doesn't mean it will continue that way. But the difference is the attack mode. They're willing to shoot a little bit more, and pucks are going in where last year they weren't. Connor's goal last year didn't go in for whatever reason. This year it went in, and we hope that continues. I bet you are. I happen to know that, Drew.
As an extension of that, it looks like the puck's moving faster, and there's not much. I think Connor phrased it, dusting it off. And
yep, that's a good observation. We are a little bit quicker. We have a tendency to be hungrier on retrievals. So when the puck does get to the net or happens to be loose, we're a little hungrier, a little quicker to pounce on it. And all of that comes with confidence. All of that comes with working. There has been some risk in our power play that we have to tighten up. We've got a little bit sloppy at times where other teams can turn an attack. We've scored more off the rush this year than we ever did last year. Be it Connor or anybody carrying the puck in. We saw another one last night. But I thought last year we tended to want to set up and then score. We're more prepared to attack off the rush as well this year.
Todd, Matt Benning skated for the first time since his injury. Can you just provide an update on that, and if we can expect him back in the lineup after Thursday? Because if I'm not mistaken, he can't be activated.
Yeah, he won't play Thursday for sure, and I don't know where he'll be for the weekend. He was allowed to skate today in a non-contact situation. He had a smile on his face, which is a good sign. He looked energized. All of those are positive steps for him to recover from his injury.
Todd, Jason is a role player, but what do you need to bring your team as somebody who actually will be getting a Stanley Cup ring tomorrow and knows how to win, and you don't have a lot of guys in your team with Stanley Cup rings?
No, we don't. We don't have a lot of guys with Stanley Cup rings. I don't think it's a prerequisite to win one. It's nice to have that experience, though. And Chaser is all business when he's at the rink. He is focused on his job. He's been a player that's bounced around a little. He's played on some really good teams, maybe not so good teams. He's had some real strong years. He's had some off years, but he's all business when he comes. He wants to get better. He recognizes what the team might need. And last night was a tremendous game for him. It's unfortunate he got hurt. But I've seen those hands. I've seen that shot before in Dallas, especially. When we were in San Jose, he used to park himself net front, and he had quick hands. He had a good release, big body. So it's a real positive sign for us to see him contribute the way he did yesterday. And heading into that game, we talked about the big matchup, the 4 centers. We also talked about the auxiliary guys and how they had to step up, and our guys did that. He was one of them.
Todd, Cam Talbot was a little bit critical of his own performance last night, but overall, how would you assess how he's played this season? And when it comes to workload, when can we expect to get a start?
Well, Talbs is one thing Cam is he's honest, and he's specifically honest with himself. He doesn't pull any punches. He doesn't pawn anything off on anybody else. He accepts it, and he owns it. And I didn't think it was a disastrous night by any means. He, there were some times where he made some saves for us when we really needed them. And any time that 6 goals are given up, there's probably one in there that the goaltender would like to have another kick at. But for the most part, I think he's been a lot more consistent this year. He's been a reassuring goaltender for our group. When things haven't gone well, he's been there for us, and that's been a real important thing for our psyche, our confidence level. Mikko will play. We've got a 3-game and 4-night span coming up. We play back-to-back. Mikko will play at least one of those games, and we'll go from there.
Back to that power play. I think I heard you in here a few days ago saying that all 3 of those wins were stocked up to the power play to some extent. Do you put the point you got last night in that category too?
Well, it performed when it needed to perform. The special teams ended up on the positive side. Anytime this season that we've ended up winning the special teams battle, we've been able to put a point in the bank. And that has been, it's been important. The ties or the losses, they go either way. And usually if you're losing it, you're not putting anything in the bank. But I think the power play plays a huge role in potential team success, as does the penalty kill. And it's been doing their job as well. So.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. Can you speak to the penalty kill? I think it's, I believe, 14th right now.
Yeah, it is. It's improving. It's getting some confidence. Last year at this time it had 0 confidence, and it's amazing what the difference can be. We're still trying to settle into pairs. Once we get some of those role players up and playing at the top of their game, I think our penalty kill will get better. It has to happen first 5-on-5 for some of the guys, and then the penalty kill will improve. But I think it's clear, it's concise as to how we want to play certain situations. And it goes back to the question about Talbs. Often your best penalty killer is the guy wearing the big fluffy pads, and he's been quite good in that situation.
Puljujarvi got dropped down to the 4th line. What did you not like in his game?
I just didn't think he played well last night. He didn't have the puck a lot. He was knocked off pucks. He was on the ice a lot. Jason fit that role. He was having a good night. Happens in a game.
And Ryan Strome, a lot of fans are saying, why was he on in the overtime, which is ridiculous. You can't play 3 guys, 3 forwards the whole overtime. But was he taking unfair heat for it?
Ryan Strome has a good mind. He can skate. He's a right-handed face-off guy. All the things that you need in overtime. So, again, the experts. Drew.